Hello students, welcome to another video of calculus. We will start the last topic of this chapter, subsequences and Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. The last topic of this chapter is subsequences and Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. So first of all, we will see the definition of subsequence. Definition of subsequence. Definition of subsequence. Let xn be a sequence. Let xn be a sequence of real numbers. Be a sequence of real numbers. Let n1 is less than n2 is less than n3 and so on. Suppose this nk is again less than for the larger numbers. Be a strictly increasing sequence. Be a strictly increasing sequence. Strictly increasing sequence of natural numbers. Then the sequence suppose we will call it as capital X is equals to xn be a sequence of real numbers, then n1 n2 up to nk be a strictly increasing sequence of natural numbers. Then the sequence, suppose x prime is equals to xnk given by x n1 comma x n2 up to so on is called subsequence of x is equals to xn. This is called subsequence of xn. So this is the definition of subsequence. So if we take for particular example, then it will be very clear. If we take suppose x is equals to xn is equals to suppose the sequence of natural numbers n such that n belongs to set of natural numbers, that is 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. This 1 is x1, this 2 is x2, this 3 is x3 and so on. This is the sequence x is equals to xn. Now if we take any subset of this set, then we call that subset as subsequence whenever that for xn1, xn2, xn3, n1 is less than n2 is less than n3. So if we take suppose the subset of this set is suppose 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So this set is just the x2, here x2, x4 is this 4, x8 is x6 is x6, sorry x6 is 6, x8 is 8. So here these numbers you can write x2, x4, x6, these are the elements of xn for which this xnk means this xn1, xn2, xn3. So this 2 is less than 4 is less than 6 is less than so on. So this is subsequence of this sequence. So if we take this as x prime which is equals to suppose x twice n for the even numbers of this sequence. For the even numbers of this sequence we get 2, 4, 6, 8. Suppose we take another sequence, suppose x double prime as x twice n minus 1, that is for odd numbers. We can write 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. This is subset of this set. We can call this subset as subsequence whenever if these numbers, that is this is x1 in this sequence xn, this is x3 in the sequence xn, this is x5 in the sequence xn, so on. So here 1 is less than, 3 is less than, 5 is less than. So these numbers are increasing order 1, 3, 5. So this is called as subsequence. This here clearly 1 is less than, 3 is less than, 5 and so on. So this x prime and x double prime are both the sequences, subsequence of given sequence xn. Hence means subsequence means just the subset of this set, but the elements of that subset, this is subset of this set, but the elements of this subset must be arranged in some definite manner. That is, suppose if we take this second number, then fourth, and then sixth one, for that these numbers are 2, 4, 6 and 8. So this is subset of this set. We call this subset as subsequence whenever these numbers are arranged in some definite manner. Hence this x prime and x double prime are subsequences of x, that is x is equals to xn. This is the definition of subsequence. For example, if you take another example, suppose sequence xn is equals to, sequence x is equals to 1 upon 1, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3, and suppose 1 upon n and so on. If we take this sequence, then the x prime, if we choose similarly for the odd even numbers, if we choose this xn k is equals to 1 upon suppose 2, 1 upon 4, 1 upon 6 and so on. Here 1 upon 2 is less than 1 by 4, but this 1 upon 2 is the second term of the given sequence. 1 upon 4 is fourth term of the given sequence. We need x here, this is x1, this is x2, this x3, 1 upon 4 is x4 and so on. This is the nth term xn and so on. We need x1 is less than, x2 is less than, x3 is less than, x4. Similarly, we need xn1 is less than, xn2 is less than. So here 1 by 2 is x2 in the given sequence, 1 by 4 is x4, 1 by 6 is x6. So here 2 less than 4 is less than 6. We need these 2, 4, 6. These natural numbers must be in increasing order, not these numbers. Here 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 4, but there is no need to check these numbers. We have to check these natural numbers. So 1 x2, so 2 is less than 4, 4 is less than 6. So this is in increasing order. So we call this as subsequence of given sequence. So this x prime is sequence of given this x prime is subsequence. Therefore this x prime is subsequence of given sequence x equals to xn. Suppose x is equals to xn. Similarly, if we take x double prime as x n k, such that if we take suppose 1 by 1, 1 by 3, 1 by 5 and so on, this is again subsequence of xn, subsequence of sequence xn, both these subsequence of given sequence x. Now we will write this statement of one theorem. There is no need to prove. Every sequence of real numbers, if the statement of the theorem is, if a sequence suppose x is equals to xn of real number converges to a real number L. If the sequence converges to L, then all the subsequence of this sequence, all the subsequences of this sequence must converge to this L. Then if this sequence converges to the real number L, then all the subsequences, then any subsequence, suppose that subsequence will be xn k, also converges to L. Any subsequence, the subsequence of x converges to L, So if this given sequence is convergent and converges to some limit L, then all the subsequences, every subsequence of given sequence converges to the same limit. Now we will take the divergence criteria. Whenever we can say that, or how we can prove the given sequence is divergent. So next topic is divergence criteria. After that we will take the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. Divergence criteria. So the definition is if a sequence x is equals to xn, if a sequence capital X is equals to xn of real numbers has either of the following property, that is if the given sequence of real numbers satisfies any one of the following two properties, then we can say that the given sequence is divergent. Either of the following properties, then given sequence X is divergent. Given sequence X is divergent. So first property is the sequence X is equals to xn has two subsequences, Suppose the first sequence is x prime is equals to xn k, and suppose the second one is x double prime which is equals to x suppose rk. Given sequence has two subsequences, say x prime and x double prime, whose limits are not equal. That is, if the subsequences of the given sequence converges to some different limits, both different limits, then given sequence xn is divergent. Whose limits are not equal. If we have given a sequence and if we can find the subsequence of two subsequences of given sequence such that both the subsequences converges to some different limits, then we can say that the given sequence is divergent. And the second condition is x is equals to xn is unbounded. If the sequence is unbounded, then that sequence will definitely diverge. That is, the sequence is divergent. So we will take one example. Suppose the example is the sequence suppose x is equals to xn, that is the xn is equals to minus 1 raised to n. The sequence minus 1 raised to n is divergent. The sequence minus 1 raised to n is divergent. So here the given sequence is minus 1 raised to n. So we can write this minus 1 raised to n as, if n is equals to 1, then minus 1 raised to 1 is minus 1. N is equals to 2, then 1. So we can write this sequence as, suppose n running from 0 to infinity, then we can get 1. So here n running from 1 to infinity, so minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1 are the terms of this minus 1 raised to n. So if we take the subsequence, suppose x prime is equals to, if we take the subsequence x prime is equals to suppose xn k, which is equals to minus 1 raised to twice n. Minus 1 raised to twice n means for the even numbers. So if you put 2 into 1 is 2, that is minus 1 square is 1, 2 into 2, 2 to the 4, so minus 1 raised to 4 is again 1 in 1. This is the first subsequence. Now if we take the second subsequence, suppose the second subsequence x double prime is suppose x rk, which is equals to minus 1 raised to twice n plus 1. So if we put n is equals to twice n minus 1, here n running from 1 to infinity, so we will take twice n minus 1. There is no difference whenever we take twice n minus 1 or twice n plus 1. Then if we put n is equals to 1, then 2 minus 1 is 1, so minus 1 raised to 1 is 1. Again if we put n is equals to 2, then 2 to the 4 minus 1 3, minus 1 cube is again minus 1, minus 1 raised to 5 is again minus 1, and this one. So x, we get two subsequences. First subsequence is the sequence of 1 1 1 1 and 1, so this sequence will definitely converge to 1. Again the second sequence is minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, so the second sequence will converge to minus 1. So we can find the two subsequences of given sequence which converges to different limits. First sequence converges to 1, second sequence converges to minus 1. So we have two subsequences of given sequence xn such that both the subsequences converges to different limits. So by the first criteria we can say that the given sequence xn is equals to minus 1 raised to n is divergent. This sequence x prime is equals to 1 1 1, this sequence converges to 1 and this sequence converges to minus 1 because constant sequence of minus 1 converges to minus 1. Hence we have two subsequences of such that x such that both the subsequence we have two subsequences of x, sequence x such that both the subsequences converges to different limits. Hence by divergence criteria given sequence x is equals to xn which is equals to minus 1 raised to n is divergent, So we can find two subsequences of given sequence which converge to different limit. So given sequence minus 1 raised to n is divergent. Now we will see, suppose the next example. Suppose you have given sequence x is equals to xn. Let x is equals to xn is equals to, the sequence is equals to 1 comma 1 by 2 comma 3 comma 1 by 4 comma 5 and so on. Show that this sequence is again divergent. The sequence x is equals to xn which is equals to this is divergent. We have to find two subsequences both converges to different limits, or if one of these two subsequences unbounded, then you can say that given sequence is divergent. So we can write this x is equals to xn in two forms as that n whenever if our n is odd number. Clearly we can say that 1 is odd, 3 is odd, 5 is odd. So for odd numbers we have the sequence n, and for the even numbers we have 1 upon n if n is odd, if n is even. For even numbers we have 1 upon n, and for odd numbers we have n itself, and clearly this n is unbounded. The subsequence x n k is equals to n is unbounded. Hence by second condition of divergence criteria, we can say that given sequence x is equals to xn is divergent. Now the last topic of our chapter is the statement of Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, which is Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. We have just statement of this theorem. So the statement of this Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem is a bounded sequence of real numbers. A bounded sequence of real numbers has a convergent subsequence. A bounded sequence of real numbers has convergent subsequence. Hence this is the statement of Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. So if you have to prove this, then you can use the monotone sequence theorem that we have seen earlier, and Using that result we can prove this. There is no need to prove this theorem, only statement is given for us. Statement of the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem is bounded sequence of real numbers has convergent subsequence. If you have given a bounded sequence of real numbers, then definitely that sequence has a convergent subsequence. So this is the last theorem of this chapter.